Today we are doing another episode of Which Brand is Faster in GTA 5. Today we are doing McLaren versus Bugatti. It's going to be a pretty crazy race. We have a couple amazing cars to test out to see which brand is actually faster. Comment down below which brand you think is going to end up winning. And without further ado, let's get right into the video. First, let's take a look at which cars are going to go up against each other. We have the Italy GTB going up against the Nero. We have the Nero Custom going up against the Emerus. We have the Adder going up against the GP1, the Thrax versus the Tyrus. And since there aren't a ton of McLarens or a ton of Bugattis in GTA 5, I decided to throw in some real ones. We're also going to have the Speedtail versus the Bugatti Bolide, which is going to be a very interesting race, and I'm really excited to test those two vehicles out. Anyways, now that you guys know all of the vehicles that are going up against each other, they're all lined up on the runway and ready to start the race. So comment down below, which brand in GTA 5 do you think is faster, McLaren or Bugatti? Well, let's find out. Taking a look at the stats of our first two contenders, first we have the Italy GTB based off of a McLaren 570S and a 650S. It weighs 1,800 kilograms, it's all-wheel drive, has a top speed of 126 miles per hour. It is a 3.8 liter twin-turbo V8 producing 641 horsepower and 500 pound-feet of torque. Going up against the Nero, based off of a Bugatti Chiron in real life, it weighs 1,900 kilograms, it's all-wheel drive, has a top speed of 126 miles per hour, it has an 8-liter quad-turbo W16 engine producing 1,500 horsepower and 1,100 pound-feet of torque. Let's see what happens. That was a pretty close race, but the Italy GTB did end up beating out the Nero by 0.54 seconds, which is still a pretty decent amount. So we're going to be giving the W for this race to McLaren. Next up we have the Emerus, based off of a McLaren Senna. It weighs 1,100 kilograms, it has a top speed of 127 miles per hour, it's rear-wheel drive, it has a 4-liter twin-turbo V8 producing 789 horsepower and 590 pound-feet of torque. Going up against the Nero Custom, based off of Bugatti Vision Gran Turismo, it weighs 1,800 kilograms, it's all-wheel drive, has a top speed of 127 miles per hour, it has an 8-liter quad-turbo W16 engine producing 1,600 horsepower and 1,200 pound-feet of torque. Let's see what happens. Well, that was a very close race, but we're giving the W to the Nero Custom, which beat out the Emerus by 0.09 seconds, which is pretty insane, which now makes the scores 1-1. It's all tied up. It's a brand new game. Next up to the line, we have the GP1, based off of a McLaren F1 in real life. It weighs 1,100 kilograms, it's rear-wheel drive, has a top speed of 123 miles per hour. It has a 6.1 liter V12 engine producing 618 horsepower and 479 pound-feet of torque. Going up against the Bugatti Veyron. It has 124 mile per hour top speed, it weighs 1,800 kilograms, it's all-wheel drive, it has an 8-liter quad-turbo W16 engine producing 1,000 horsepower and 923 pound-feet of torque. Let's see what happens. Well, that was another very close race, but we're giving the W to the GP1. It beat out the Adder by 0.14 seconds, which now makes the scores 2-1 for McLaren. Next up to the line is the McLaren Speedtail. It has a 4-liter twin-turbo V8 engine with an electric motor producing 1,055 horsepower and 848 pound-feet of torque. It's all-wheel drive, has a top speed of 250 miles per hour, 0 to 62 miles per hour in 3 seconds, and it weighs 1,400 kilograms. Going up against the Bugatti Bolide with an 8-liter quad-turbo W16 engine producing 825 horsepower and 1,300 pound-feet of torque. It weighs 1,200 kilograms, it's all-wheel drive, it does 0 to 62 in 2.17 seconds with a 310 mile per hour top speed. Let's see what happens. That was a pretty interesting race. The Bugatti Bolide did take the W there. It beat out the McLaren by 0.81 seconds. And if you're wondering, it did the quarter mile in 8.98 seconds, which is pretty insane. So that now makes the scores all tied up at 2, and we're down to our final 2 contenders. So if you haven't commented already, comment down below which brand you think is gonna win. By the way, be sure to check out DigiZani. They'll hook you up with tons of discounted games, gaming accessories, discounted gift cards, and in-game currency for dozens of your favorite games. Don't forget to use code Frolics at checkout for a 10% discount. Next, we have the Tyrus, based off the McLaren F1 GTR Longtail. It weighs 915 kilograms, it's rear-wheel drive, it has a 123 mile per hour top speed, it has a 6.1 liter V12 engine, producing 592 horsepower and 520 pound-feet of torque. Going up against the Thrax, based off the Bugatti Divo in real life, it weighs 1900 kilograms, it's all-wheel drive, has 124 mile per hour top speed with an 8 liter quad-turbo W16 engine producing 1400 horsepower and 1100 pound-feet of torque. This is the final race to determine which brand is faster. Let's see what happens. Well, there you have it. The Thrax ended up taking the W in the end there, beating out the Tyrus by 0.64 seconds, which is a pretty decent amount of time, crowning them the winners. Bugatti is the faster brand. I honestly thought that would happen, and I'm sure a lot of you guys down below in the comments also thought that would happen as well. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you want to see another episode of this, be sure to comment some brands down below in the comments section that you want me to test out in GTA 5. What I might end up doing is taking some of the brands that I've tested in the past, and whichever one of those won, I will put them up against other brands that have won. And we'll keep doing that over and over until we figure out which is truly the fastest brand in GTA 5 Online. Anyways, if you guys do want to see that video, be sure to comment it down below in the comments section. And with that said, thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will catch you guys in the next video.